Hey everyone, Thunderbob here, and I know I've played this game a couple times lately, but literally like minutes after I finished playing the last time, they released a patch to add in index support. This was like the biggest thing I was asking for when I played it last time, and literally I've only played this for about 30 seconds, and oh, it's so much better. Using the stick instead of using the touchpad is just immensely better. You have no idea how much better. Let's see how to control. Okay, so the touchpad cycles through your weapons, it seems like. Just seems like it's kind of like the next weapon. Actually, okay. Forward on the touchpad is next weapon. Back is previous weapon. I still kind of suck at this game. The gunplay is okay. There are a few things I think need a little bit of work. Like, I feel like I never run out of ammunition. I'm pretty sure these guns maybe have unlimited ammo other than like your grenades and your special weapons like rockets and stuff. Feels a little weird. Like, you know, like there's no... That's one thing about these games is like ammo management, and it feels like that's not here. Like they kind of take out a certain amount of the strategy and the thought that goes into the game. Okay, so on my left hand, B like seems like it does like a 90-degree swivel. Okay, so the inventory or the menu is now strapped to my hand. That's cool, and I get it by hitting the other button. Let's just see. Kind of want to bump this up and just, you know what? And the bloom can come down because I feel like with it all the way up, everything just feels kind of, I don't know, like there's like Vaseline on it a little bit. I think the bloom is too high. Getting a little bit of reprojection when I go to Epic. That's how I test it. You can just move your hand, and if you see like that jittery kind of ghosting, it usually means you're hitting reprojection. I could also pull up my advanced menu, which I don't think you're gonna see, but it can tell me my percentage of reprojection, and if it's under like 10%, usually just means you're hitting it like during menus and stuff. Alright, enough of that. And I'm not going to play too long tonight. I've still got some stuff to do on my new computer to get it up and running completely. But like almost immediately after I posted my last video, the developer commented and mentioned that they had added this, so I felt obligated to come and give it a try. It just feels so much better. Those Vive controllers I cannot go back to. You know what? It feels a little clearer too. I'm not sure if I've changed something, but like before the text was fairly difficult to read, and now rockets give extra damage and set flame nearby enemies. It's a little bit of... could use a pass on some of that. I've got 5,000. Alright, let's get a rocket. Yes, I'm sure. And I can almost make out the stuff on the edge of my screen, so maybe they enlarged it a little bit. I still wish it was just like, maybe always down, because I hate it's just floating out there. I prefer it to be in like one spot, or even on my hand, like an option for it. And I would just be like, oh, I've got that much health. Like Half-Life Alyx, I think, has a really good way of doing it. Two-handed would be nice also. Alright. Oh, I like the rocket. I like the rocket for these guys. It's playing like skee-ball over here with them. Oh, that's what I meant the other day. I think I mentioned if you get close to it, you lose focus. And I think they must have changed it because last time I got in combat around one and I was like stuck in it, but it seems like maybe they lowered the radius, which is nice. Like, the game's not perfect. I'm not gonna talk it up and say like this is the next Half-Life Alyx or something, you know. it's got issues, but it seems like the developer is willing to address them, which I applaud them. They're not just dropping a game and walking away. But there are some small issues. The AI of the enemies is a little weak, but I did read that they are working on that they actually had more intelligence and then they cut it out because people were finding it too difficult. But I think just having the enemies run at you is a little boring. Actually having, oh, I think I beat the first level. Cool. Get to go to a new area, maybe? Entering the city. It just all around feels smoother right now. I don't know if they've changed something. I know I'm running the new computer, but just maybe it's because I turned the bloom down. That bloom was a little overbearing, but the fidelity looks a bit better. Back to the small things that they could adjust. The AI, which sounds like they're working on. Having a little bit more than just the enemy spawning and coming at you would be nice. Hey, there's new enemies. Like having them maybe set traps, or what if there was like a guard tower and you actually had to like ascend the guard tower and fight your way up or something. Like maybe they introduced more things. This area is pretty cool. There's one thing I will say is graphics are pretty good. The bloom kind of I didn't love, but turning that down, the environments are really well done. Like it's almost like this ancient, like falling apart city, and they're these huge expanses. I really like that. I wish there was a little bit more story. Like it seems like you have like a pretty cool intro video, and then it kind of launches right into the game, and there's literally like no text, no voice. It's just kill everything you see, which is kind of, if you just want to jump into the action, it's cool, but it would be nice if there was something I could make that big boy jump. It'd be nice if there was something more. Even Serious Sam has, come get some, or is that Duke Nukem? You know what I mean. You ran into bullets. And there's not a lot of strategy to, like, literally, there's no reloading. I think you have unlimited ammo. It's kind of like you pick the gun you like best and you stick with it. I feel like they could add a little bit more to it, either an ammo mechanic or differentiate the weapons a little bit more. Like, I honestly can't tell, I know this is, I think it said shotgun when I bought it. It basically just looks like a sniper rifle, the bullets that are coming out of it. Like, what makes this a shotgun? Like, the rocket launcher is actually, and rocket launcher obviously. Then you got kind of like a laser pistol. There's like 15 guns, so maybe it's hard to differentiate when you start getting that high. But like, this one has a little bit faster rate of fire, but there's not a huge difference in like the gameplay around it. This one's got a slower rate of fire, but it's almost like a railgun. If it was a shotgun, it should kind of spray out a bit more and be good up close. You need more differentiation between the weapons, I feel like. Nope, not yet. But they're listening to feedback, and even if they don't substantially change it, it's a fun, mindless shooter. And if you've beaten Serious Sam, you've beaten Doom, if you're not looking for something deep, you just want to go and blast some guys. You don't have a lot of choices in VR. So this is, it gives you another one of those games. And I think this is like, what, $10 I want to say, and on release it was even discounted. And I think it's got 6 levels, 4 to 6 hours of content. Not a terrible, I spend that at lunch almost every day, so. My wife goes to Starbucks and spends $8 every morning. She spends this game's worth of money on coffee. Now, if it was a $40 game, I don't think I could push it. I don't think I could recommend it. But for $10, if you're looking for a shooter, you could go worse. Whoa, that's a lot of dudes. I should have bought some rocket ammo. I do wonder if there is headshot damage here. I can't tell if it's... I think it is, because like this one shot's the guys when I hit him in the head, the smaller guys, and it doesn't always if I hit him in the chest. This is a much better experience now. I can use my back controllers too. Even with all these guys on the screen, I'm not really getting any reprojection. I can't wait. I'm getting a 3080. Hopefully soon. I got put on order, but it's back ordered, so I can bump all these games up to like 200%. See how they look. I do like the environments that substantially changed. Like, yeah, this little pistol is not gonna cut it. And I'm really not feeling any nausea or anything. Like maybe my beer legs are getting really good, but I'm like circle strafing around these guys basically. I think the environments add a lot here. Like I don't know if I would play this if it was just a small corridor shooter. But having more context for what this all means, like, would be nice. Like, I know this is a not fair comparison, but I just played The Last of Us 2 not long ago. And they tell so much story with the environment. Like, you enter a building and you find a body slumped across the doorway, and then you find a note, or you find, like, something scrawled on the wall or something. And just, you know, you don't even need, like, a deep story. You can tell a story with the world. And I know maybe that's asking a lot for, you know, a three-man indie developer, but you know, you can add a lot without needing voice acting and without needing, you know, a huge budget. So I feel like you have this huge world, you could explore it a little bit, you could add a little bit of character or depth to it without too much change. Or maybe that, you know, something for the sequel. That's maybe asking a little bit much for... That was weird, they all spawned on top of each other there. I don't love that they spawn into the world. Like, I understand probably why they do that. But it would be really cool if, you know, they were like you know, stationed somewhere waiting for you. You know, I might actually play through this now that it's got index support. Like, not tonight, not all in one go. Blew that guy's leg off. But I'm enjoying myself right now. Okay, yes. But yeah, I should try the wrist blade and stuff. I haven't even... How many of these can I buy? 60. Cool. Okay. Oh. I'm not positive how to do the wrist blade still. Okay, so pressing in the middle, pressing in the left stick is your teleport. Not that I've used teleport a whole lot, but it's nice in a pinch if you get stuck or something. And I've seen some people, you know, who played more of the game with a lot of complaints, and I'm not dismissing them. There's certainly things that are not perfect about it. But for, you know, a $10 indie game, when you don't have a lot of choices out there, I'm a little more forgiving. Like, I'm not saying, you know, run out and buy this, it's perfect, or... But I'm having a lot of fun. And the developers actually, you know, seem to be actively trying to improve the game. Like, every video I posted they've responded and like mentioned, what they're working on and like index support's coming, and then literally I posted that video last night and it was like hours later like, oh, index support's in the game now. What's crazy is this is a small developer, I think from somewhere in Central or South America, I can't remember at the top of my head, but they don't have index, but they found a local LAN center that had an index, and like they actually rented the LAN center for a day to go in and I guess, build out and test the index controllers. And like that's commitment. These guys seem like they actually want to like they're not just asset flippers. They're actually trying to make a legitimate game. So I'm a little more forgiving for small indie teams when, they're working on things. And worst case, if you play for less than 2 hours, you can always, you can always return it on Steam. I've done that before. I bought something and just didn't click, didn't jive. I think I'm gonna try to get to the next level if I can, and then probably call a night. It's getting late. But I gotta say, from my first experience with the game crashing multiple times to like this, it's definitely like that. When I first played it, I would have never suggested, playing it in that state, buying it in that state. But right now, even in like, what's 2 weeks since I think I made that video, it feels like so much smoother, so much stabler. Index support. I do kind of wish they would have released this as an early access title. I noticed that it's not, which usually means this is a complete game. And it feels more like they should have released it with early access in like a 3-month timetable where they can kind of finesse all of the little rough edges out of it. I think it would have had a better reception, and maybe their next title, they might consider that, or have like a longer beta period. Like I got this key, I want to say, like days before release, and I've been in the middle of building a new computer and just really couldn't commit a lot of time to it. So I know there's like, I thought I read like 17 guns, but I only see the 5 here. I wonder how you unlock the other guns. And these upgrades are, maybe it's this, because each of these, flame rocket launcher, burst rocket launcher, filer, so maybe this is not just skills, but like almost like a different gun. I don't know. One thing I would maybe recommend is if you're having trouble, I think this game is a bit CPU bound. When I first tried it, I was running a 3770K, and the experience was not very good. Dance, big boy. I think you may not want to pick this up if you have an older CPU, because the performance is questionable unless they've made some substantial changes. But if you've got like a newer CPU, like I'm using the same video card, but a considerably more powerful CPU, and it's made such a difference. These levels are pretty substantial. I was thinking I was getting close to the end. I also love that the world's like really big and expansive, and there's not like constant loading. Like I feel like loading is such a bane for VR games. Like I don't want to be standing here looking at just empty space. And there's probably, I want to say like 20-30 minutes of content between load zone, it seems. I think maybe, yep, that was a good guess. That's the next one. So I'm just gonna see what this level is, maybe just 60 seconds, and then I'm gonna call it a night. If you stuck with me. Oh, they kind of, I didn't notice that before, but they don't let you go back. The city battlefield. I do think, like, they're working on adding more AI. Like, I've already read that. I feel like right now they're making it more difficult just by making some of the enemies more like bullet spongy. And I feel like if they improve the AI, they should bring some of that bullet sponginess down. Like it's not fun just to stand there and like shoot the same dude over and over again. Adding in some more mechanics or, you know, some other way to make it more difficult rather than like just artificially, you know, now they've got 1,000 health instead of 500 health kind of thing. Well, I'm gonna call it a night here. If you like this, I've got a ton of other VR content on my channel. I've got a playlist devoted to it. I've got a bunch of, you know, new releases, non-VR, retro games. Check out a couple of videos if you like them. Think about giving me a subscription. It lets me know that people are actually watching and that I should continue doing this. And again, thank you for watching and have a good night.